Down 2 mats, full range of motion.
Send me one more shot, sitting on the bathroom sink. Damn, return home. I think there's pain.
There we go! Yep! Whoa, you better get right! Yeah! That's right! That's right! There's a big pull! There's a big pull! It's been a while! Oh! Ah! Woohoo! That's the ride I like! Oh, we're not gonna get me, are we? Black and white this again. Deadlifts were solid again this week. Same band set up as last week. Those are roughly the average bands. I don't know what they add. They add definitely more than a plate per side. Definitely. I know the light bands, one size down, what adds 110 pounds? Something like that, because I think 2 pairs add 100 kilos to 220. So one size down adds 110 pounds total. So let's just say this adds a solid 150 pounds, something like that. And those bands on squats together add 150. So yeah, somewhere around 150 pounds, I don't know. And then the front loaded bands as well. Let's say those add like 50, 60 pounds, but it's pulling from the front. On the warm-ups, I could definitely feel when the bar was lighter, the front loaded bands want to throw me forward, so I have to end up smashing my feet down on the floor. Maybe it gives me more foot awareness, and I'm having to use my hamstrings to drive my hips back. That's what you want. You want to use those hamstrings to drive your hips back. And if you watch my video from the side, and I'll throw it up there, you get a really, really good idea that my setup is pretty solid from what I think. You can see that my shins are pretty much vertical. My shoulders are set up behind the bar, and they not only stay there, but they go a little bit farther behind the bar as I'm pulling. As the bar gets to my knees, I don't hitch. I throw my hips back farther and use my own body weight going backwards to pull the bar up. People start hitching, they start thinking about we're just gonna go up. Shoulders are in front of the bar. Happens especially with double overhand straps. Notice I'm using double overhand straps, keeping my shoulders behind the bar. The front loaded bands are a great tool. So it was the same setup as last week, except I added 2 mats on there and measured out to be a full pull. So it was just right around 9 inches was from the mat to the bar. Mats feel a little funny, have a little bit of sponge to it. I don't really like that. Got used to it during warm-ups. What else? And it's 50-pound squat bar, not a deadlift bar. And I think pulling from the rack is generally more difficult than pulling from the floor because you don't get to take any slack out of the bar. So this rack is pretty unforgiving when it comes to rack pulls. Solid. I also added a biscuit to each side, a 2.5-pound plate to each side. So that was, what, 415.5? Plus average bands, plus front-loaded mini bands for a single. And the big thing was I went fairly max effort. It was not a speed rep. It was a little bit of a grinder. I had to stick with it. I could have quit. I took a more small steps to get there than usual. And I still did it, and I'm walking away without anything hurt. That's big, guys. You know me. That's big. So right now I'm aimed to set up with the Husafell stone for some short runs, but not dead set on it. I don't want to light up my back or my biceps. So I'm gonna play with it. I will probably get it in my hands and then listen to my body and see how that goes. So we'll see how it goes. Well, the plan was 2 25 to 50 foot warm-up runs with the empty implement, and then to take the empty implement for at least 200 feet in a run. So it'll be 50 feet-ish with a turn every 50 feet. You know what I mean. But I don't think that's there. My feet and legs feel okay, but not great. Biceps feel worn. The last that I did wasn't so hamstring crazy, which is a good sign that my hamstrings don't completely lock up while I'm doing this. But so I don't think 200 feet is going to get it, but I do think if I catch my breath and I don't make any mistakes and I get a good pick, I think I can take it down and back, which will be 100 feet. And honestly, that's a PR. So give me a couple of minutes. Let me get my breath. See if I can get my feet to work right. And, let's see, guys. After I made the turn, I might could make 2 turns, but you know, I can still hear myself walking, slapping the ground with my feet. But keep in mind that I have not been, you know, 2 full distances with that or any weight on the Husafell stone in a couple years. So if I would have stuck with it, what could I don't think I was going to make another turn, but I might have made a half turn. It would have been ugly and rough, and I would have been really sore. I definitely lost my grip holding it with my fingertips, and with a light stone like that, 75 kilos. So 154, 165, 165 pounds. It's either 75 or 80 kilos. Either way, it's empty. It's got some wood in it to round it up to whatever its empty weight was. But you know, my feet are okay. Hamstrings are okay. They weren't completely lit up. Back is not lit up. Nothing is injured. And I went down and back with that. The little add-on nose torque feature is really, really solid. On the way down, I couldn't really tell that it was there, but on the way back, when I was sucking in a little more air, maybe the direction of the breeze as well, because the wind's coming from there. As I turned, the wind was blowing it more in my face. That's a pretty solid idea. You ever have one of those genius ideas, you put it to good use. So that's a heck of an idea, and it definitely kept me moving. Definitely kept me moving. So I really want to set up the fingers and roll with that, but you know, that will take me a good little while to set up. And I think I could go ahead and do my Viking press and maybe an accessory after that and recover a little bit better than I did last week, because last week I was sore for about 4 days. So I think a lot of that is just me getting back to where I can do a max effort lift in the gym. And I know the deadlift wasn't heavy. I know this wasn't heavy, but I'm getting closer and closer to the point where, hey, regardless of the weight of what I'm moving, I can move it closer to max effort. You know, so wherever I'm at right now, I'm being able to get a little bit closer and a little bit closer to max effort. The more max effort work I can do, regardless of the weight, the more that my dynamic effort and my repetition effort and my general strongman training is going to be effective. Listen to that again. The more that I can do max effort training safely, the more that I can push that max effort training, the more effective my dynamic effort, my repetition effort, and all my strongman training is going to be. That's really, really key. If you are not able to push the maximal effort work, then everything else you're going to do, it's not going to be optimized. So that's what I need to focus on. I need to optimize and be intelligent, and then not get stupid hurt. And then doggone it, I've got to move this thing back to its resting spot, which is another 50 feet. Oh man. Oh me. Well, let's get this back, move on to some Viking press, guys. All right, got that put away. Got me a little drink. The plan here, I believe, in kilos, this is 60. It's a little more than 60, but we call it 60. So I'm doing 67 and a half for 3 sets of 3, I believe, with a pause. Working on some positioning, working on that ankle and foot knee position on this, and then going up to a little more than 80, I think, for 3 sets of 3 or 4 sets of 3 with a push press. So warm up with this, and then we'll add a little bit. This made me really sore last week, shoulders, triceps. No more big jumps, just consistency. in front, off the body. It's supposed to be 4 sets of 3. If you're one of my clients or past clients, you're probably saying, Clint, why are you doing 3s? You always have me do high reps. Well, with Viking press, you build it with going one of 2 directions, high reps or low reps. I'm not strong enough to go the other direction right now. Ooh, elbow. Oh, that shoulder's behind. Guys, that's wrapping up another fun Sunday. Viking press is nothing to beat.